Good morning, guys. All right, so what we're going to do today is write about what you read and already analyzed through your annotations of Between the World and Me. What we're going to need to do is use our analyzing details sheet as we've used for Carter G. Woodson and the Native American boarding schools. So you already know how to do this sheet. We're going to make sure we do it really, really well for this text because it's pretty tricky. So in the Analyzing Detail sheet Between the World and Me assignment in Canvas, you know what to do. We click the link. I'm going to make my copy and rename it. And make sure it's in my ELA folder. So end with my first initial dot last name, begin with today's date, which is September 27th, and put it in my ELA folder. Great. Now, as you can see, I have a couple different tabs open. I'm going to close the original document, so I have my Canvas tab open, my guiding question sheet, which I just turned in, and my ELA folder in my drive open, so I have access to any of those documents already. The very first thing we're going to do is put down our purpose for reading, which is the exact same as our do now was for today. You're going to be taking that question and really refining it, really making sure you have the best information possible for it. So our question is, what is Coates' message about race in America? And now I want to find some really good details about that in order to answer it. So the good news is my guiding questions are already showing me where to start. So I'm going to go to that sheet, which I've already completed. Obviously, Ms. Hartzell would get a really bad grade if I turned it in like this, so I know none of yours do. But this is going to tell me exactly where I can start to point. So immediately, since my question is what is his message about race, I can look at this idea here, which is what is the concept of, where did the concept of race come from for Coates? So my answer that I put is it only exists because of racism. Okay, that doesn't really tell me anything right there. Great job, Ms. Hartzell. Great job getting a really bad grade on this assignment that you did. So I'm going to go back to Canvas, open up the text, and try to find where I found that information. Because one thing we need to do in our writing today is include quotes from the text. 100% need 3 quotes from the text analyzed. So around the bottom of page 6, I start to have my detail about race. This leads us to another equally important ideal, one that Americans implicitly accept, but to which they make no conscious claim. Americans believe in the reality of race as a defined, indubitable feature of the natural world. Racism, the need to ascribe bone-deep features to people and then humiliate, reduce, and destroy them, inevitably follows from this inalterable condition. In this way, racism is rendered as the innocent daughter of Mother Nature, and one is left to deplore the Middle Passage or the Trail of Tears the way one deplores an earthquake, a tornado, or any other phenomenon that can be cast as beyond the handiwork of men. So right up here, where he says Americans believe in the reality of race as a defined, indubitable feature of the natural world. The fact that he puts race in quotation marks and he says Americans believe in the reality of it, that is telling me that he doesn't necessarily believe in it, but it is making a claim about race in America. So I think that I can start with that quote. That's a place for me to start. So I'm going to go back to my Analyzing Details sheet. I'm going to put in quotation marks, Americans believe in, what does he say? The reality of race. The reality of race as a defined, indubitable feature of the natural world. I'm going to put where I got it, which is page 7. Yep. Always put the page number where you got this quote so you know where you can go back and find more information about it. And just to make sure I have the context right, racism is the need to ascribe bone-deep features to people and then humiliate them, just reduce them and destroy them, inevitably follows from this inalterable condition. Alright, so I know that he's saying that Americans believe that race is a real feature that people have, and so racism must necessarily follow it. In this way, racism is rendered as the innocent daughter of Mother Nature, and one is left to deplore the Middle Passage or the Trail of Tears, really horrible events that have occurred because of racism, the way one deplores an earthquake, a tornado, or any other phenomenon that can be cast as beyond the handiwork of men. Okay, so I know this is answering my question. This is telling me how Americans view race. What you are going to do is you are going to find 2 other quotes from the text from what you read, use your guiding question sheet and the text, make sure you put the page numbers. You will have 7 minutes to do this. Make sure you are selecting really solid quotes. Myself and Mr. Ramos hopefully will be able to be circulating and making sure that you are getting excellent information from the text. Go ahead.